Team International versus Team Thailand.
It's going to be great to see these two teams matching up. So many fan favorites taking the stage. But is that cosplay at the front as well? That is awesome. That is very sick. Can you tell me a little bit about the design of Waylay overall as well? Kind of what were some of the inspirations with having the light motif and the kind of look of Waylay?
Yeah, I think a lot of what we wanted to capture, you know, which I mentioned a little bit in the interview, is just that we always try to have a power source for our agents, right? Like, what is the metaphor or motif that makes them feel like their abilities all like sort of sit together? And light is just one that we felt sort of perfectly matches Waylay, given how light can bounce, right? And like refract, if you will, through you know, different surfaces.
Is Team International getting together, discussing their strategies?
With Wingman as the fifth man.
Now, we should say as well, we should say as well, it's going to be on Ascent here. We're going to be playing a BO1 on Ascent. There's got to be some wild stuff you can do on Ascent, even if you think about, even if you just thought about it as a jet updraft dash, which it isn't, it's more. But even in that context, there's so much you can do on Ascent. It's a very mobile kind of map. So I assume you're expecting them to make use of that mobility.
Yeah, definitely. And when I was designing Waylay, it was definitely a sort of agenda item for me to shake up a meta game that we've seen basically remain the same now for quite a long time.
Oh, you don't think they're going to be running the exact same composition on Ascent that everybody has run for the last
hopefully not after Waylay.
Yeah, a lot of upward mobility, a lot of options to do some tricky stuff. I mean, I remember jumping into a custom game to practice the, I mean, should I say this? Banned in pro play, but the it's when you dash into the top roof onto the A side and you get further into the back. Don't think you're allowed to do that in pro play. You can do it in ranked though.
Yeah,
you can do it in ranked.
Yeah,
but yeah, movement expression is it's going to be very important, and we're going to see it Primi versus Tens in that Waylay head-to-head.
I mean, we've also just got some ridiculous compositions here. Why is CGRS not playing Gecko? The whole thing was CGRS Gecko one trick, and now even he has fallen prey to the Taeho meta. I'm glad that Team International have moved away from it, though. But a triple duelist composition on both sides. Okay. I expect that will not be how Waylay is normally used.
Yeah, I would expect not. I mean, they're just sort of channeling their PRX here,
of course,
you know, in Southeast Asia.
What kind of agent synergies do you see with her?
Yeah, so really any of those agents that have like supportive through walls utility or like lineups, KO, Breach, Omen, actually kind of metas that are characters that have been popular in the meta for a while, and especially now with Breach Taeho, Breach seeing a lot more play now as well. So excited about that.
Okay, well, we've got 20 seconds before we get into this one. I feel like we've got to watch the Waylay to begin.
Yes.
Like attack side Waylay, take a look at Tens, see what he's doing with it, see if perhaps he picked up any of the tech that you were teaching him earlier, June.
I mean, he might know better than me already, to be completely honest. But I wanted to give him something to at least start with, get his gears turning. When I saw him warming up in the range, I was pretty impressed with what I was seeing already.
One of every ability. Don't think he reloaded a pistol. Yep, still 3 bullets in that one, but all good.
He's just going for a single right.
Primed and ready. Here it is, vulnerable to the side. Salvo's up and over towards the door. What a combo!
Oh my! That is disgusting. Into the vulnerable. Was that still without reloading the pistol?
Yeah.
And he just went for a solo one tap with the right click classic.
Needed to land that.
I mean, he did. He did land it. What a way to begin.
That's crazy.
I mean, there you see the refract place down at the beginning, right? And then the light speed to engage.
Yeah, and getting in there and being untradeable, right, in case someone was playing Hell or Dice.
So, something that, oh, well, let's take a look at whether CGRS can clutch this out.
1v2. It's not on Gecko, no wingman to help you out here. Smoked off though. Well, okay. Ready with ease for Tens.
He's too good, isn't he?
Yeah.
I did just want to ask though, with the refract, so it's your get out of jail free card, how free is it? Are we talking instant? Is it impossible to punish somebody as long as they react to it? What's the animation length looking like there?
It's the same as Chamber. So you'll probably know from playing Chamber that sometimes you do get killed despite having pressed the button.
Yep.
That's 15 milliseconds of time. That's the same here on Waylay.
This one. Go on.
So there is some outplay potential, potentially. It's not fully get out of jail.
Yeah, for sure. And you'll notice he kind of had to like 180 flick, and that gave Tens enough time to like get the kill there.
Why do I feel like we're going to see Primi with a shorty? Dashing up or over somebody.
over.
In he goes.
Maybe missed up the movement, I'm not too sure, but a refract to pull it back. Demo's already in there as well. He's drawn first blood, and this should be an easy cleanup.
Are they going to try to...
A little bit awkward.
All
Picking up
good
the
here
gun.
at the
That's all cleaned up.
I was going to
isn't it?
ask if they were going to try to farm up the convergent paths from Tens. I do really want to see the ult in play. It's such an unusual ult as well, because you're almost like... I don't think we really got to see it in the video that well, actually, but you create like a light version of yourself that casts the ultimate whilst you can start moving already.
Yeah, exactly. We wanted to sell this like delay that's baked into it, so it had some like, you know, in-world reason, right? That it doesn't just instantly roll out.
Sure.
And you know, given that the light motif on the character, it just seemed like a cool opportunity to like sort of show you like laying up for yourself, being your own initiator.
Very cool visually.
Yeah, and it gives you time to like equip your dash, ready your refract, and just be ready to get out there as your ultimate's rolling out.
I like that punish from Team Thailand. Hunting the lurker. Kasa goes down before the rest of the team can go for that exec on A. And CGRS is all the way pushed up the tiles.
That's deep information in through mid. See if Team International have got the, okay, discipline, but no, I mean, Pyramid! And the rest of the squad putting on a squeeze through mid. That's flawless.
That's very nice. All right, another question. How long does the refract last for? Because we saw Primi there place it down to take a duel in mid. You know, if you're thinking about Jet, you pop your dash, and then you've got a certain window of time, which is really not that long to work with. Is it similar?
Yeah, it's similar. On Waylay, it's 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
Yeah, so, you know, if you are pretty confident that the angle you're holding, you know, you want to commit to that for your 8 seconds. If you're on defense, you can. But ultimately, it's not quite like Jet in that you can't really use it to escape.
It's my goodness! I mean, this is fast reaction. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that was just off the rip aggression. I was not expecting the double light speed off the rip. And still, yeah, I mean, it's a bloodbath, isn't it?
He's farming.
Primi's opted into it. Wants to try and take a few more. Kasa steps up to the challenge, removes it. Bit of spam from Hard, okay.
It's a big kill. Is going to force Kohan and Kasa to back up, reassess. Now, Primi, I think, beefed the refract a little bit when he first took that fight. Forgot to place it down, and it was just kind of sat in a main. Hard with another one.
Hard's kind of owning.
I didn't know what to expect from Hard.
No.
I'm not super familiar, but I was reading kind of the bio. All right, he's a singer from Thailand, contestant on Survival. I was thinking, all right.
What, this guy's incredible. It's just
he's frying people.
Hitting all the check marks in terms of being talented.
Yeah, we saw Prinny there maybe interact with the ability maybe more like you would on a Jet, right? Where you putting that ability in safety is going to be key.
Yeah.
You can't just like put it where you're standing because you're not going to travel very far, and you're going to be vulnerable when you come out of it.
But also, crucially, what I wanted to point out is that even though Primi kind of beefed the refract at the start, he wasn't forced to take it. When the cooldown runs out, you don't just zip back to the refract position. You can actually choose not to enact it.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he was also able to get another one afterwards. So here he is, putting down the refract kind of in a bad place.
Yeah.
Uses light speed to disengage, but then because he got 2 more kills, he was able to get another refract to try to take a fight from a safer position. So, I mean, even when you make mistakes, if you're Primi, it's fine.
My brain folded in on itself to try and figure out what happened in that engagement in main. Like, genuinely, there was a lot going on. The light speed dashes.
Yeah, you got 2 Waylays dashing around. Lot to keep track of.
It got chaotic quite quickly here, Primi. Outlaw in hand. Won't be seeing any tags up through mid, though. That's going to be the dimensional drift. Demo trying to set up the rest of his team now. Spotted now, no one's out onto the side, so open ground to be taken. ISO ult, preemptive. This man from John, and an attempt by Subush to catch that timing, refract him back. He's going to be safe. Then posted up, 4 position, but out through heaven, Mintuka.
Very clean from Mintuka there. Team International left scrambling after Hart got the kill inside of the ISO ult as well. After winning the pistol, attack side on ascent has been difficult. It's going to need something incredible from Denmo.
Kasa trying to play off of it. Oh my goodness. Demo's barely alive there, just trying to scramble and run away. Does have the spike. Options.
See if Demo feeds the kill into Primi. That would put Primi one away from having the conversion pass online. That's all I'm looking for.
You're not even worried about the clutch. You're just, you want to see the ult being used.
I want to see the ult. I want to see Primi get a kill and a defuse, and then, I mean, it does... I would assume starting the round with a conversion pass doesn't make too much sense.
You never know.
Never know.
Do some aggro main control. What kind of usage did you see June? I think like playtesting, iterating on the agent.
For the ultimate?
Yeah, just for the ultimate in general. Did you see it much in like playtest, people using it off the rip at the beginning of rounds? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you would play it typically how you would expect, right? With like Sova Dart, Fade Eye, contacting off contact off a drone, things like this. The main thing is that the places you're gonna want to use it, they're gonna have to be more like, it's not quite as large of an area as Breach or Fade. You have to call your shot a little bit more than that. It's not like the whole bomb site, right? It's just one piece. So you're going to want to have information before you cast it, first of all. And second of all, the supportive casts of the ability aren't nearly as strong, right? Because you want to be following up on it yourself with your dash. And trying to like pick that player off. So I think on areas in the map like Cat going into Tree, where it's like fairly narrow, fairly hard to escape, and it really does affect that whole area, I think it'd be really quite good there.
So Primi's one away from the ult at the moment. Just to recap how the ultimate works, it applies a debuff in an area and a buff to yourself. Does the debuff affect teammates as well? Is that something that you have to be worried about, like Breach?
Yes, it does affect teammates. It does not affect Waylay, though.
Gotcha.
So when Waylay is dashing out, even though the ultimate is like rolling out right from under you, you're still good.
There's that refract. Back to safety. And Ten's trying to punish with a light dash, but punished in play, and that's an ult turned. Convergent pass ready and waiting. Primi, you choose to let it loose. Just the Armageddon. It's going to try and pave the way and clear out most of main.
And they're going into the waiting hands of Mintuka, who gets killed, but then...
Yeah, not dead yet. Still swinging wide. God, who is this guy?
God, Heart is frying. I got to tell you, I underrated the Thai team.
You can't be handsome, singing, dancing, and surviving, and you can't be good at Valorant as well. That's just not fair.
Oh, that's ridiculous. By the way, Mintuka, current streamer, former Game Changers player, currently top fragging on Clove too. You might have been looking at this thinking Superbuzz, former player for Full Sense, or maybe Primi would be up at the top of the scoreboards. At the moment, they're just here as the supportive cast.
We did use it at the end. Slow start to this one.
They're finding it tough to be able to get into the sites.
Yeah.
The Thai team is looking to try to take fights as much as possible. Like, for example, Mint inside this smoke.
Full aggro.
She's going to be able to hear some of what's going on.
She could definitely do some damage. Same could be said of Primi. Oh, he's got to be careful of that one, but okay. Just spotting the shoulders out, and as the opposition removed and out. Light speed in and out, and oh my god, a head take clean off. Carl's going for it. Flash into the face, though. This is potentially a thrifty win. Look at this, 2v4. Team International.
Gun here.
Open access, site granted, on to way, so they get the plan down.
Going walkabouts in the post plan here as well.
No one on site.
No.
Everyone's just...
I mean, set up for the
gone.
show match ninja defuse.
Ugh.
G2 and T1 going to be watching this.
Feeling inspired.
Yeah. For the next time they play Ascent, which is not going to be today.
Not for a while.
Ammunition.
They want to go for this, though. Team Thai trying to take it. Paranoia in the face, going to be slowing down at the approach. Cage on top of it. It's all a little bit too predictable here, but the smokes obfuscate. Delay, a bit of random spam. Dismissing forwards, I respect the play, but yeah, that time is ticking. That spike is imminent. The Team International grab themselves a third round.
And a big thrifty win there, despite the fact that they all go down. So it's not like John gets to keep his weapon towards the end, but that's a big one. Now, Tens is still one away from getting his first ult online. I'm going to need him to step it up.
What is
You won last time you were at the first Masters of a year.
Well, I mean, he is doing his job. He's getting in there with Waylay.
That's true.
He is getting in there. Unfortunately, he's also dying once he's got in there. He tried to go for a big punish onto Primi last round. Does he take the orb?
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
Here it is.
here we go.
Here it is. And Dimensional Drift to set it up. Here we go. Send that to util. Light speed up and over. Spot him down into the Hell player, but quickly removed. And this is a 3v5, but inside there's smoke. There's the refract. Coming out strong there. Back to safety. Both waylays.
Now, does that go through Hell?
It does not. It's line of sight.
Gotcha.
No plan down, hold on. Open to the door, Tens. Gonna try and win this fight out, just can't quite wrangle it. With the rifle in hand and CGRS. Okay, need Gecko to perform apparently. Damage done to Dummo. Could be that first line of defense before they get into the sign with a flash repeat on top of it. Good clean up there, so 4-4, nice and even.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, they found a player in Hell. Tens decided to commit the convergent paths for any players that might be trying to flood in. So he ults over to the left
He's
side.
still got it.
Did it land onto the player in Hell? Oh no, he didn't use it. Sorry,
got it.
my apologies. I thought he used it on the exec. I mistook the animation
All good.
because he went for the light speed.
Yep. So far, one conversion pass with. John just stoked to be here. Yep.
All right. Potential for a massive clash in B main.
Don't miss me too much.
Ooh, suppressed though. Won't be any of these being used just yet, but a pre-fire onto the drone. There's a refight as well from Team Thai up through mid. They want to try and put the squeeze onto these players in through main. There's a convergent path, and there it is. Double dash in, trying to take the fight, and it is damage done at that still.
Be right back.
Instant trade-off, Heartbuster's there, still active in kicking, and returning him into the fight and into the fray. Fighting Tooth and Nail. Shield maybe scattered away for John, but still doing the damage here. And Team International trying to sync this one up. Super Bus lining up these highlighted players. You haven't got the reload. Oh, okay. All good. Empress in play into the 1v1. This is scattered. This is chaotic. The smoke's been dropped down and they've swapped places.
Demo doesn't have a gate crash, doesn't have an ult to be able to work with. Knows that Superbus was around B main last time. He saw him. Superbus has gone for the big, long wrap around, and Denmo has to be careful here. He gotta favor Bus in this situation.
It's almost like, why would you leave the spike? Why would you run away from it? What's going on? The full loop around.
30 seconds
Going
left.
around the world at this point. There's 30 seconds left.
They're both worried about each other getting timing. Denmo at some point here is going to make the first move though.
Yeah.
Shuts the door. He's got to be thinking about Bus coming from spawn here.
Yeah, through main. It's a crazy timing. Com-esque. Superbus. Oh, you've got all the time in the world. And Demo, no! He's none the wiser. That was just ridiculous. Oh.
Let's wind things back to the start of the round though. Ten sends in the convergent path. Doesn't catch, I believe, onto the player that was over towards stairs. Now, if it had caught this convergent path, walk us through what kind of debuff Hinder is. Because it's a brand new one. It's different to like Breach's Concuss, for example.
Yeah, so Hindered, you can kind of think about it as like a nearly universal player slow. So it's fire rate, reload speed, your jump gravity, your movement speed, your gun pull-out time. Really just everything about your gun and your movement gets slowed.
Do you still have the screen shake that you do with Concuss?
No, you don't. So you'll still be able to, you know, I mean, if you can hit your first shot, then, like, I personally don't usually just hit my first shot when I'm shooting with the Vandal, but,
Me too.
you know, but, you know, you kind of get this, like, advantage duel, right?
Gotcha.
Demo spotted it out. It's a lovely flash as well, and a peek with a Bucky. Rolling back the years of that, I remember seeing this guy in the raid. He was doing filthy things with the shotguns in hand. Still doing it. Superbus trying to contest and tangle with these players in through main, just making it nice and awkward. That's a 3-2-1 swing. Pulling discipline like that out.
They need to take down Team Thailand.
Yeah, all the stops. It's a very difficult retake. Primi, no more util.
Oh, so
Gareth
nerdy.
off to the sides. Yeah, look at this. Tripled up into the smoke. At a moment's notice, they flash through and they take the fights.
That's, I mean, G2 and T1 should be looking at that. Look at
They should. This is ludicrous for a team that has just joined together. What kind of coordination is this?
I mean, also, they've got player from Canada, Karsa's from China, Denmo Korean, Kohal, they're from Japan. I mean, they're syncing up triple swings through smokes with flashes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I don't know that, none of them speak like the same language, ostensibly, right? Except for...
they speak Valorant.
Yeah, they speak
exactly.
Valorant. Yeah.
Valorant really is a language.
If they can do that with no comms, then, you know, get with
I know.
it.
Rank players have no excuse.
Going walkabouts up through mid here, Bus. Trying to make something happen on the eco.
Yeah.
While Team International take A main control.
Ooh, spotted out though. Casa, steady aim, eventually gets it. Good open and pick here. Back inside the smokes as well though. These players are being picked apart, picked to pieces.
Yeah, there's a bait and switch set up, but it's going to get broken by the Cypher roll. There's the dash again.
Lovely util combo. There's no players onto the side to receive it though. Be on the receiving end.
What the hell?
Oh my! That's Premier Bucky.
Casa just got
Player
cooked.
standing.
Still 3. Oh! What is going on?
I mean, we've got to see that replay from Primmy's POV. He goes with a light speed dash into Kaza's face with a Bucky, so that's really difficult to dodge, and then gets knifed in the back on the refract.
How many shotgun abusers are there in the Q&A team, June?
Oh, I mean,
using Waylay.
yeah, I mean, there are a few players who are in our daily playtests who are big shotgun enjoyers.
I mean,
This is
I feel for
there are some
Kaza.
people who are just like reactivated some pretty awful memories seeing that, I think, on the dev team. We did work pretty hard on the counterplay side. That was a pretty unusual case. I mean, you know, you have to keep in mind a lot of these players are playing against Waylay really for the first time.
The
first time.
So what would you say the counterplay is to somebody who's trying to dash around with Buckies?
Yeah, so as you play against the agent more, you'll find that the paths that Waylay can take.
Primmy's straight in there.
Yeah.
Don't mean to interrupt, but
No, no, please.
it just left Cole up through the devices. Primmy! Oh my, he's getting away with murder here.
Phantom abuse and a 6-6 half. It looked like Thailand was going to run away from it though. Credit to Team International for getting 6 on the attack side. Sorry, June, though. Just before we interrupted, you were talking about counterplay to people who are going to try to get up in your face and use close range weaponry.
Yeah, so I think in general with the dash, it's quite loud. You'll be able to hear each dash distinctly. The audio is distinct between the dashes, and also the visuals are a little distinct between the dashes as well. So all these together give you a pretty good sense of being able to track Waylay. Additionally, in that situation, right, this player just like hadn't really like played against a Waylay engaging in this play pattern that much, but I've actually, over time especially, there's a lot of people who are abusing this on the dev team internally, and over time actually you actually just kind of see them get put down now, so people kind of stop trying.
Nice. Okay.
You know.
I like that.
And is that because the pathing is very predictable? Yeah, they're straight lines. It's not like Rays where it's like so squirrely.
Gotcha.
And they also have fixed distances. So your ability to improve and track that will grow pretty quickly once you get a few games in against Waylay. And also the audio is just loud. You can spatialize the character pretty well, I find. We worked quite hard on the production side to make those audio and visual things there to help you out.
Well, this was a 3v5 post plant that's very quickly gone back even.
Yeah, deep squeezed over from the door, and Primmy's, oh, he's left on an island there. Difficult spot to be left into, but I mean, it is nice to hear about, I think, the goings-on and development process as well for the agents, because it's definitely, I think, when people see Waylay introduced in this show match setting as well, because you've got to remember, all these players are seeing Waylay for the first time, they're probably thinking, oh my, I don't want to be sat at backside bind, and there's just a shotgun in my face, and things like that, but but over time, you learn the counterplay elements, you're saying, because of the sound cues, and I know there was that one pass as well where they you guys tuned up the raise volume as well for the satchels and things. So
yeah, and also, you know, it's a live game. Like, if we get feedback that, you know, people are having trouble tracking and predicting it, we'll definitely act on that. Like, the point of this ability is not to be stealthy. This is not like a your situation, right?
Yeah, I figured. All right, a force buy, dash out!
Oh my! I mean, Primmy still got the one! They're trying to take this one straight to him. 2v3 in the blink of an eye. I mean, we are channeling that SEA ranked experience here, Bucky in hand.
Both teams did pick 3 duelists.
That is true. Yep. There's only one way to play that, and it's sending it.
CGRS is going to bring this back to Paper Rex.
It's like, guys, got something magical for you. The CGRS just setting up the team for success with a nice little 3-piece. 7-7, it's so even between these two teams.
And getting good value out of the force buy there. I got to imagine Team International were hoping that they would just be feasting on ecos as they dashed in. Oh, the team blind as well. I didn't even realize that Ten's got a bit unfortunate with that. It was a vulnerable setup, flash setup.
Yeah, overshot that ledge too, right? If yeah, more time on the agent, a little more practice, I'm sure he would have been able to land atop that ledge and like really take advantage of it as well.
Just to go back to what you were talking about earlier, you were saying that one of the large differences between the satchel movement and the light speed movement is that you're not as swirly-whirly in the air like you are with Raze and a bit more unpredictable. What are some other ways in which Waylay differs from Jet and Raze? Because those are definitely the two space-taking duelists that people are going to make the strongest comparisons to in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I worked really hard to really think through what makes each of those abilities special, right? Like the Jet Dash and the Raze Satchel. But one thing I wanted to capture was sort of, I didn't want Waylay to be like quite as strong on the off as Raze, right? For example, or as Jet, or even Raze. Yeah. I think Raze, as we've seen as time goes on, people have mastered the satchels. They've gotten a lot better on those as well. And I also want it to be like an equipped ability. It's not something you can do instantly.
It's not like the old Jet quick cast dash that
Correct. Yeah, or even satchels where you get some quite instant movement.
Of course.
Out of the satchel. So I think I wanted it to be something that was a little more premeditated than either of those abilities.
Do you see her getting used as an offer? It does seem a little difficult to disengage because you're only able to dash forwards, at least the way that you're looking. So if you did kind of proc that, you'd have to be unscoping, swapping away to an alternate direction.
16,000 DPI.
Yeah, and it's not like you would really put the refract down to go for the op line because it only lasts for 8 seconds.
Correct, yeah. And you have to put it in a safe place or they're not going to be able to just run you down. So I think in general, Waylay is a decently weaker offer than Jet or Raze. I still think it's probably fine, especially if you can like DP into a safe place and then like dash away. You know, thinking of like, I don't know if you have B-main control on Ascent and you're across the entrance hiding. You can probably have time to equip your light speed and dash away after taking a shot.
And
but in general, it's a lot more difficult.
With all of the op characters, it helps if you hit your first shot as well, so that first person isn't trying to run you down immediately.
Correct. Yeah, we actually saw there Prinny utilizing the timed drop of Saturate, Waylay's grenade. It's similar to Phoenix. It has a timer when it's in the air, and when it expires, it drops straight to the ground. Tens was using this on attack to hit back dice.
Yeah.
So you can throw it
a nice
on a lineup, and it lands in pretty predictable positions.
Yeah. Well, seems like a nice bit of solo setup for the duelist, right?
Exactly.
Being able to play off it. I mean, we literally just saw it from Primmy there. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I also, you know, one thing about duelists that the design team thinks a lot about is like they're characters that put their body on the line, right? We don't want you being super nerdy with a lineup, throwing out hindered across the map for your team. We want this to be something it's affecting local space, and you're the one who's trying to capitalize off of it.
Definitely feels that with the kit. I mean, you're following up off your own ultimate, you're following up off your own saturate as well. And then you have the abilities to get in and get out.
Yeah, and not only that, right? Like, these things are sort of like tuned for Waylay in that way, but I would say that like Waylay brings something really unique to a team that Jet and Raze doesn't.
Tens missed again!
He hit it last time. He was up and over onto the top, but it still fights being taken in a dismiss back and a refract back, but you're out in the open, son. Not long for the world is Tens. Primmy's been sitting on this convergent pass, doesn't need to use it though. Caster's the last one left alive.
I mean, do you, because it's a show match, do you run it down? Yeah. I mean, normally you'd see teams go for a free plant, I think, but yeah, you 4v1, just run at it. One of the things that I'm noticing, okay, so when we saw Jet kind of develop, Tens was actually one of the first players that figured out dashing into smokes for an exec was super powerful. A lot of the Korean Jets then kind of innovated by, as you dash in, flicking to one side for information on your entrance. One thing I'm noticing is that when Waylay is using refract, I think you're missing the info during the refract, right? You're not seeing player positions there.
No, so we hide player positions and util being used. You're really only seeing the level. That's really to help you spatialize where you are in case you forgot, right? So you're like kind of aware of your orientation when you're coming out of that teleport. And additionally, it has some gameplay texture that's pretty interesting where, you know, if you're dodging a Vice ult or a Breach ultimate, because you're sort of teleporting for more time than someone like a Chamber, you actually can dodge the ultimate like quite cleanly with that ability.
Right. Then backside.
Yep, all the way back in. That was a gate crash to get back into the back of the side here. Demos. locked away here. He's getting no support, no help out, but still manages to land a kill at least before the trade comes through. And Primi, that suppressive fire.
Oh, that's huge.
The line of lead in the air, here it is, Convergent Path, slowed to a crawl. And Primi, it's time to take over. Leading the charge here for Team Thai. Still a jar with a movement. Tens trying to get tricky with it, but too much to overcome in that spot there. So a 2-round lead now for Team Thai.
Another thing about Hindered that you'll experience when you're in-game is you were very, very, very slowed for the first, quarter to half of the duration of the debuff, but it does trail off pretty naturally into your normal, into your normal movement and shooting speed and everything. Really, that's trying to signal to you that, like, hey, you need to seize the opportunity here. And you can see there, Prinny was not able to hit his first or second shot.
Here we go, fast play.
Yeah.
Out through A main again.
Down, is it? And there it is. Convergent Paths again, spotting it out to Emmo. He's been slowed down. Oh, dangerous lesson to learn, yet still manages to find the kills.
That's huge. Tens unfortunately missing the light speed, but Denmo had it on lock already.
Almost just fighting for his life in through the back of the side, but Primi hot on the heel. How the hell has Dortmund found that one? Still Primi's there. Not dead yet, but he's the last one left. Refract out in the open, but you do not want to take that. Not sure where it's landed back to safety. Spike dropped down behind. Tens and John rolling back the years. See what they can do side by side. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, world's first Waylay ace right there.
Well, he's 23 and 12, absolutely dominating, and that was off the back of a gorgeous set play from Tens and Denmo at the beginning of the round. When he completely caught Bus and Hart.
Oh, so the hit is just a little bubble around your heads if you're going to be hit by it as well, right?
Yeah, it'll look similar to Concuss. It's just more of like a light bubble effect to show you that it's a different debuff.
Yeah.
So of course, if that was Tens following up on his own, he wouldn't have been caught by the Hinder.
Correct.
But Denmo, because he's come out of his ultimate a little too early there.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see some of the mastery here that's not quite there yet. You know, give these guys a break.
Mastery?
It's their first game. So, but as time goes on, I think we'll see those plays look really cool once people figure out the set plays you can do with Waylay. And I really built Waylay with team play in mind. I wanted it to be an agent that, if you put in that little bit of extra effort in your ranked games with your duo or just in pro play where that level of coordination is very high, Waylay really, really shines in that coordinated context.
All eyes on Primi.
Yeah, all eyes on Primi again. He's going to be sending it deep into the sides. Okay.
Gotta like that, Carson.
In through the back. Yeah, it's just a little bit messy, but all good. That's Team Thai up to 12. Home field advantage for them, but they're really just running away with us at this point. All off the back of largely Primi. I mean, see the scoreboard. He's 24 and 12.
He is feasting, but the other players on Team Thailand are not doing a bad job either. Mint was at the top of the scoreboard for a hot minute. And yeah, as soon as Primi got onto the attack side, he's just found so many opportunities to be able to get in and take his fight.
Yeah, really cool to see Tens there use it in kind of like a chamber-like way where you're able to like get that pick and get out basically untradeably in those moments. So you can still be aggressive with the refract on its own, even if you don't have the dash and the refract together to be kind of a lock and key.
Gonna need to see Team International step it up 4 rounds in a row to take us to overtime.
Convergent Paths. No one going to be in the line of side angle for that one. A lot of ults and a lot of abilities where that came from. Casa, bit of spam down in through the smoke on top of it. That's a Neurofeft to point the way and pave the way, potentially. Primi's here, door closed in the face of a few of these players. Just moving around here, light speed, up and over the top here. Tens! This is it out against the counterpart. Still needs to take a solid fight, but a refract in time. Pulls his way back and plays Casa in. It's traded though. And it leaves Tens in a 1v1 to survive in the show match. Quick reload, soundbait, and CGRS. Head swiveling, but I think he's just been spotted yet. Just a barrel. It's barely enough for Tens to get a hold onto him.
That's lovely audio bait there as well. Tens jumps down and then silent jumps back up, making the drop noise, making the reload noise, completely baiting CGRS, thinking it was coming from a different direction. Great 2K as well from Casa.
Yeah.
Playing around the smoke. I don't know whether those were just blind spam kills or what, but found a lot of success. There's the first of 4 that Team International would need for us to extend the game further. There are so many pings on the minimap. Team Thailand is going for something wild.
They're all over the place in mid. Okay. Salvos are the first wave of it. Clears it out in case somebody was hiding.
Still a trip here. Still a paranoia off the trip from Kohal. They're ready for it.
Who's going to be swinging? That's the question. John QT is getting close to the corner. It's broken. Trying to take the swing from either side. That's going to be the refract out into the open here. Shield, propped, popped up. Quick size 7 to saturate. Not going to be called by that one just too quickly.
He got someone.
Oh, he did with a kill contract, but he's out into the open here and he needs Demo to bail him out. And Bus has just won the fight anyway. Demo. Oh, popped off. It's still a die, isn't it? 12-9 at this point. Body blocking the players before he can try and get in. There's an upgrade for you, but it would have to be a 1v3. And Team Thai looking like they're on the verge of potentially doing this one. All looked up onto the site. Trying to look for these openings. He's found a first kill. Popped up onto lane though. Premi! Yeah, just sidesteps it. 13-9. Here for Team Thai. They are the winners. And I believe there was someone on the line for this one. I think the losers might have to eat a bit of spicy food.
Yeah, we'll have to see this at the end. There were rumors and hints that there was going to be some kind of forfeit. But also, yeah, I heard the forfeit was eating spicy Thai food, which if Team Thailand lost, that's just, we feed them lunch, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a lot more on the line for international, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great opener. Primi had 341 ACS on a brand new agent when he also didn't even take any tips from you, June.
No, he didn't need it, clearly. I wouldn't have offered him anything useful, I think, based on what I've seen here.
Well, what a great opening to our Masters final here. The Thai crowd seeing a Thai agent, Team Thailand winning.
I mean, listen, I don't know if that picked up over the cinematic, but they were going crazy in here.
Yeah.
They were going absolutely nuts as well.
As soon as Waylay said the first thing in the cinematic,
that was it.
They were pogging.
Yes, there was rumbles throughout the arena, all around here. So Team Thai, your victors here in the show match here.